Here we go. Hello, this is CB Ultra, Summoner 68, and we are back with Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. And last time, we basically finished the first part of the trial where we had Mr. Armstrong on the stand, and we made him admit to his guilt of helping this man here, Furio Tiger, hide the body of Glenn Elk, and it turns out, they actually had a double for Glenn Elk. So not only did Phoenix have a phony, but so did Glenn Elk, to play out a play of him being poisoned just to make Mr. Kudo a witness to everything and to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. And so now we finally got him on the stand, and now we need to, read his testimony and do all sorts of stuff that you already know what we do. Anyway, let's get to it.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. Yous wanna check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Oh, at last I found my pen.
Well, perfect timing, Judge.
Very well then. Mr. Wright, cross-examiner. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins.
Lowlife? Me? Oh yeah, before the trial began, we also gave Gumshoe the small bottle with unidentified fingerprints. So hopefully, maybe his fingerprints will pop up when he gets here. But we gotta hold out until he gets back.
Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me.
That's one loan contract I refuse to sign.
And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger.
Well, what does he gotta say? He's like, I like it.
I love a good spectator sport.
Of course.
Just a minute! That's really not...
This witness is... how can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too.
I love the way he sticks his tongue out.
Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You'd better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my butt. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant present of witness testimony.
Oh, jeez. Well, thank God I have the guide to help me.
Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick!
Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Oh, I love it. Alright, the tiger's alibi. And it says the second statement. Save. Alright. That. And it says press it, right? Yeah, press the second statement. Hey! Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know.
You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is.
Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cataverni?
She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule.
There you
goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue.
What's important is what was he doing on the day of December? So now what? Press it harder. Mr. Tiger,
What do you want?
If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
oh, Phoenix, he's like trying to act all tough, and then he just pusses out.
Objection. This is a dead end, Wright, and you know it. Remember the rules.
Objection! No! It's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too?
Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please.
Mr. Tiger, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony.
Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor. Ask him yourself.
Alright, so Glenn's calendar. Okay.
The day you was talking about, I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before.
In the evidence it says calendar because, obviously, I'll say, yeah, that makes sense because it says meet with the tiger. There you go, you bastard. Alright, Mr. Tiger, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elk, but it appears that Mr. Elk knew you.
What?
Mr. Elk left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date, December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder!
So, Mr. Tiger, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elk. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him! Oh my god, the tiger actually met with him, I had no idea!
Not bad! You's actually not bad!
Sorry?
I was just messing with you to see how good you were.
Well, fuck you.
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad.
Shut up, Maya. God dang. I like that. I love the jokes in these Phoenix Wright games. I'm so glad that I don't know a lot of these jokes that come up.
That's one compliment I could do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You's calling me a liar. Is that what you doing? Oh!
Really? He goes Scooby-Doo.
So, you're saying that you claim to have never seen that kid before? Is the truth?
I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth.
Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic.
Oh boy.
That is why you testify for the court again, Mr. Tiger.
Oh, yes, would you mind indulging the court witness?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get my guide up. He never actually met the victim? That's got to be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Okay. The victim, Glenn Elk.
I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Elk. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tender Lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I ain't even been to that Tribulations joint, you hear?
That's a lie.
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up.
I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead.
That's a really good line. I heard it's hard to keep appointments when you're dead.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you. Right.
What? Wait. No! What is this? It took away my guide for a second. It took me to like a Sheets ad. What the hell? Okay. Get me back to where I was. Please. Oh, shit. Okay, there. Okay. So, fifth statement. 5. I ain't never been to the joint. Save real quick. I hate when the guide goes out of control like that. Alright. So, matches used for advertising, found in lender tender. Ah, okay. I was wondering, how does this connect? Oh yeah, I forgot. Man, I'm glad I'm using a guide, because I can't remember this shit. But again, like I've always said in these playthroughs, I'm in it for the story more, and see if I can piece it together in my own mind. And again, sometimes I'm proud that I go, wait, I don't need the guide. But yeah, these matches, you bitch. Mr. Tiger, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
Matches? What you's talking about?
We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant.
What?
If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk?
You's been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me.
Oh my god, no broads controlling him. I had no idea.
Order. Well, witness? I think it's time to start telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But, okay, I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid.
Well, looks like an order just came in for another testimony.
I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Elk that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. Okay. At Tribulations.
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw the one ugly thing. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I went. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
Okay. It says press 2 or 3.
I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then? Well, Miss Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it! If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions.
No problem. Anytime Troy presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty.
Shit.
Mr. Donut, that's my job.
Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict.
Jesus.
So do it.
Yes, sir. The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so's you know, since you the paying.
Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here?
Yeah, what? Why is it my fault you're gonna miss your train? That's your fault for getting involved in this incident, dumbass. Alright, so we can just press this one. Howdy! An ugly scene? What do you mean?
Objection. The witness has already told us, Trent, which makes that question irrelevant.
But... Oh shit, was I wrong? It said 2.
I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial.
Yeah, okay.
That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you take a penalty. Right. Or your guts will look like the inside of a chimney. Ashhead.
Don't make me burn you again, Miss Wright.
Huh? It said press. Oh, it said present. Oh, I don't want a penalty. Shit, I read that wrong. Where am I? Oh shit, I'm all the way back here. Shit. Alright, we'll cut back when I get back to my place. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. It said present. Okay. Present the floor plans. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh boy, where are the floor plans? Tribune floor plans. Again, I wonder what the contradiction is. Oh, I guess the entrance is right there, so how did he see the body? Unless he was on the other side. Alright, sorry about that. I'll try to pay attention a bit more. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tiger?
No one escapes the Tiger's collective.
Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. Even though I made that huge mistake and accidentally pressed instead of presented. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight.
What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning.
These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tiger. Yep, I was about to say, he wouldn't have seen it. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this.
Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head.
Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Why, that's true!
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. Oh shit, he's actually sweating. We got him. So, from the entrance of Trey's Bien, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him!
Objection. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Yeah, because it was staged. Yep, I'm putting it together, because again, they murdered him, moved his body to the kitchen, as they said in the last part, and then the double, which I'm assuming is him, the tiger dressed up as him and pretended to die. And he probably could have perfectly mimicked it because he was sitting with him. Objection! But the defense just proved that point to be mute. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elk, but a fake.
What?
In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Or charade, I mean. Shit!
That will do! This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elk and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court.
Gladly. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tiger. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tiger. It's an offense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright? Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts. I'll give you that.
He hides under the desk. What an asshole. He just leaves him.
Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Oh.
Perhaps I can end this embarrassment.
Mr. Godoy?
Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no.
The serving girl brought him a Jamaica, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Is the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee.
Oh. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Objection!
Very impressive, Mr. Kodak. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Haha, I wasn't being a coward. Good response.
Found your pen at last, Wright.
Found your pen. Fuck you. It was in my pocket. God damn it, Phoenix. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elk, and the waitress from behind.
Yes, your point, Mr. Wright.
I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elk was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. I have to say, God, this is so freaking elaborate. Just to frame Maggie Bird for a poisoning. Jesus.
What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed?
It was Miss Viola. Yep. I knew that from the very beginning.
Who is this woman?
Her name is Viola Cataverni. She's an employee of Tender Lender.
You's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armor truck tonight, if you know what I mean.
Stop shaking, Nick!
Thanks, Maya. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following.
Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. And she had a kind of cackling laugh.
There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And again, it makes sense if the tiger was the one who was in disguise, because from his perspective, that's where it would have probably looked at it. He probably went like, oh, it's in his left ear. Or, wait. I think so, yeah. Well, yeah. I should shut up. I mean, again, looking at him, because, yeah, that would be in his left ear. So he did put it in his left. Like, looking at that, like, that's his right. But technically, the way he's sitting, that's actually his left, I guess. Because, yeah. Sorry about trying to go into it. But, I mean, again, basically, from his perspective, it looked like it was on his right. So he put it on the side that he saw it from. Like, oh, it's on this side. But that's actually his left, not his right. In the radio show, he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tiger, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you! Oh shit.
Witness? What have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He's alright. I could do with a guy like you around.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now. But I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go.
Something to think about?
You got it all wrapped up nice, huh? Right. But you've missed out one real important thing.
But that can't be.
I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid, too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you hear? What? Do you really expect us to believe in you now, Mr. Tiger?
What a troublemaker.
Troublemaker?
Looks like we're going to need another one for the road.
Damn it. Not another testimony.
One more steaming cup of hot testimony.
Excuse me.
Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim?
Oh shit. Okay. Trace to the victim. Ties to the victim, sorry.
Yeah, I loaned Elk cash about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his paycheck date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Elk was $50,000. Yeah, well, you's got the vig to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know.
That's faster than $100,000 is twice his principal.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case.
I think I'm starting to understand your motive now. We haven't brought up MC Bomber, the virus that is affecting the police station right now. You wanted the CD. Because you were probably going to sell it on a black market for a crap ton of money. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? Okay, so it says press the sixth statement. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about the waitress.
Howdy!
I need to save. The waitress, you mean?
The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't got in the way, things would have been bada, bada ding, bada boom, over and done with.
Maybe I should press a little harder on this. Okay. So it says, ask how things would have been. Let me save since we're on the right track. And I think it's been a bit. There we go. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm curious about that. What does she mean? What does it mean?
Are yous all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way.
As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony,
Other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tiger had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you amend your testimony to reflect what you just said.
The tiger's motive, huh?
I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy.
I want to say, I'll look at the guide in a second, but is it the MC Bomber right now? Let me see. Yep. Or it says the sports paper, because again, the sports paper says MC Bomber on it, yeah. So, yep, I was right. I figured that's what he wanted. Where's the disc? I had lost it. Shit, I lost the disc. Where? There it is. I want to present MC Bomber! I could have presented a sports paper, but eh. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elk owed you, correct?
I loaned the guy the cash. That's about right.
Unfortunately for Mr. Elk, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after. Yep, because again, we even heard the lady from Blue Corp. She said, if you sell that crap on the black market, you can get like millions for it.
Objection. What are you getting at, Wright? What else would a moneylender be after other than money?
Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch.
What is that?
A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the inside of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
God damn. You're so old. How do you not know about a computer? Jesus Christ. I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Yep.
Several $1 million?
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elk had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Glenn Elk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the coal ladder Mr. Elk put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection. You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get a hold of that program?
Uh-huh. Exactly.
The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot trait. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder.
Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? Because yeah, again, we already know the Tiger, I'm remembering now, he owes a debit to the Conavori family for getting his daughter in an accident. So he needed the money fast. When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tiger need money to the tone of $1 million?
I'd say, couldn't we present the profile of this guy? Let me see, medical papers, okay. You know, you'd think the guy would be an option too. Like, oh, well, he owed money to this guy because of the medical papers. Let's see, where is the medical papers? Right here. Viola's medical papers. A $1 million bill for surgery. Due last year. In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery.
How much of this do you know?
These medical paper documents the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum! Someone should sue these HMOs.
What does that even mean?
No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue.
But Mr. Tiger had no choice but to pay. Because his very life depended on it. Oh my god, he roared like a tiger. I had no idea he could do that. Wait, really? You didn't know? Yeah. I thought the Tiger was just his name and not literally meant it. What's wrong with you? I don't know.
Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright?
Indeed it did. Simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cataverni.
You say, Cataverni?
Oh shit. Pluto Cataverni, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta. also known as Viola Cataverni.
Oh shit! He's like, what the fuck?
Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cataverni demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elk's life to pay your debt.
Oh my god, he sacrificed his life to pay David. I had no idea!
On the day of the murder, Mr. Tiger's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenn Elk had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tiger knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tiger would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I.
The lottery win?
Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tiger with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. Let me sprinkle some salt in there. It turns out it wasn't poison, it was just salt. Oh, it tastes so awful! Ah! He just dies. So, he resorted to illegitimate means.
That's crazy.
He murdered Glenn Elk and then made his next move. To frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tiger posed as Glenn Elk. Yep, I was right. While Viola Cataverni played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection. Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it.
Dude, don't you already know? We established this in the last part. He was working with the tiger, you idiot. We established that he had no choice but to work for him because of his $500,000 problem. Objection! But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Yeah, idiot, you forget? Have you forgotten already, Mexico? That's what I was just complaining about. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Kodok? You freaking idiot! Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tiger's plan.
Oh my god, he had to go with Mr. Tiger's plan. I had no idea! Order! Order! Silence! Oh, clear the... You've put on a good show, Sparky. If yous want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
I agree.
You do?
Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out.
What? Another one? Mr. Wright?
Interesting. Why don't you force it all in, trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tiger performed to frame the accused?
I'm gonna look at the guide, but wouldn't it just be, oh, I don't think I'm in here. Or actually, I know what to present, probably. Because again, it has to be me. Like, let me see, down. Yep, I was right. Paper badge. I was about to say, it's obviously me. He framed us just so that he can make sure she got guilty. Yep. Oh no. Now they're gonna make fun of the badge. Like, oh my god, that looks like shit. What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Ooh. Mr. Tiger, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. Fuck. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. He's like, wait a minute, I gotta think about this. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen! Oh my god, he said he was shitty, I had no idea.
Objection. Can you prove that, Gramps?
I like it. Can you prove that, Gramps? I'm the one that's supposed to be proving it, not him.
Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man.
I like that the pursuing music played when the judge finally realized, like, you're not Phoenix Wright!
Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him?
Even Godot's lost in the fantasy.
Hey! Forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Objection! Have you no pride, sir?
Objection. This is a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives.
Mr. Godot's right. Your Honor, speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. No! Oh my god! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tiger are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. Oh, come on, Gumshoe, you gotta get in to save us.
But we've come so far!
You say he impersonated Glenn Elk. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Narc! Oh my god, he just went narc! I didn't know he could do that!
Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you's gonna get mauled! You's got that!
All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt.
Damn it.
Looks like I won't be needing a refill.
I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence! Come on, Gumshoe. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook!
This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tiger.
Oh my god, he's free to go. Wow, that's incredible. Hold it! Oh my god! Your Honor, sure! Yeah! Wait!
Detective?
Detective Gumshoe! Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's covered on this too.
What is it, Detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence.
What?
Oh my god, the final piece of evidence. I had no idea he had that on him. Jesus. Oh shit. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab.
The results?
About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle.
Oh, so do you know who the prince belong to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So tell us, they're the tigers, right? I knew it.
Uh-oh. You bet. Okay. Clear as crystal, all over your bottle. The Ethereal Tiger's paw prints, all right?
That's great. We've got him now, Nick.
Uh-oh. What's wrong, Phoenix?
What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now.
Huh? What? Why not?
What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenn Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now.
Oh, I knew it. Wait, no matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use.
Oh.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
This was our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Maggie?
Yeah. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie! You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair.
Detective Gumshoe, wait!
He's gone.
Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick?
I wish there was. Ganshu worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Small bottle put in the bucket. The victim's ear medicine covered in his fingerprints. I wonder how we're gonna have to use it. I guess we'll find out.
Oh my god. Why did we take a break there?
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
I granted you a visa so you could prepare this decisive evidence you discovered.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Don't keep us all in suspense, Wright. Show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Oh boy.
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
Save his case.
How much more of my time are yous gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But yous lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. no doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed to a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got beat, he'll let his guard down a bit.
That's what I was thinking. Like, we probably still have to show the evidence, but he'll probably, when he sees the bottom, will be like, whoa! He'll freak out like an idiot.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court.
There you go.
This is defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that the victims?
Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tiger.
What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark.
My prints are on that fancy-looking bottle. Is that what you said? Well, what the hell's in it anyway?
A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tiger, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Oh, shit. Why? Because it contains Mr. Armstrong's oils, the victim's ear medicine. That's where I was thinking. I was like, is this leading to, yes, he put poison in it. This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison used to murder Mr. Elk, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tiger, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You'd make a good clown, you know that.
Oh man, was I wrong? Okay, no, I'm not. I thought I was wrong for a second. Obviously, yeah, the answer has to be poison. What?
Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. Yous just making me right now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
A bluff?
I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you's gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass.
Oh, so the bottle actually probably doesn't even contain the poison. He just made him admit his guilt. Oh my god, you idiot.
That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it.
Yep. I was like, I thought the poison really was in it, but no, he fucking made him admit where the poison was. Oh my god, that's so good. Fucking idiot. Got him. At last.
What? Why is everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle.
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle that cyanide was in. but you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games.
Oh, that's him talking.
Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out?
You still haven't figured it out. Yeah, you freaking moron. You just gave yourself away. Oh, I love that.
Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
You don't know who's you's messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me?
Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve! I would say, so that's how we were supposed to be thinking. Basically, we had to show the bottle and say, oh yeah, this is the poison. And then, of course, he just goes,
No, it ain't. This is the poison. Ah, fuck.
The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all! Bitch. You gonna pass out?
What's going on?
It looks like a blackout.
Oh, shit.
Well done. Right?
I love his visor. Oh, let me guess. I already know what happened. God damn it, not again.
I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you.
God damn it, not again.
Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey.
Oh my god, he threw his coffee in the dark. He's so skillful.
I love it as soon as I saw those eyes. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, he did it again.
Miss Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe. But if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Oh, yeah. I know nursery rhymes. How did I do?
You're alright, Your Honor.
Fuck you.
Sorry.
Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tiger, Mr. Goda?
He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elk, Your Honor.
Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was.
And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake.
Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furio Tiger is a truly frightening criminal.
The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there.
Oh, shit. Is he actually giving us some respect? Damn. Even though you hate our guts.
Godot. Well, I am now in a position to declare my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty.
Party! She's saluting. Oh, that's so one last piece of evidence to show, and it's to Maggie. I already know what it is.
Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Maggie!
I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him.
What? It wasn't me! Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger.
Look, Nick! In the doorway!
Hey, Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, guys.
Well, wait!
Oh,
Detective Gumshoe.
oh, yeah? Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? Oh, well, I was... Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around.
Wait up, Detective! He just ran off.
Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It says to him that we found the medication bottle.
That wasn't even of any use.
But
It's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him.
can't you put in a good word for him, Nick?
Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie. Let me say this in case. I know the answer, though. It's the one thing we didn't use, and Gumshoe gave it to us. You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this.
I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts.
He doubted me. That's why. He thought I might have done it.
I got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Yep. Here, your Gumshoe weenie box.
Take it! Take it!
He starts shoving the hot dogs in her mouth. Take them! Take the weenies! Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom.
That's...
A present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love.
He said you lost weight and he was worried about you.
Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know?
Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know.
Yeah, trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it?
Is it okay if I eat this now?
Yeah. Oh, she's crying. Oh.
So, how is it, Maggie?
It's really good.
Oh. Nice work, Gumshoe. So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start.
Yeah.
I wonder what this will look like in the anime. Still need to watch season 2 of it. Episode 3, Recipe for the Tournament. The end. Yay! Well, that was a fun episode. Nice, and got the trophy. A brand new episode has been added. And oh shit, we got Edgeworth, looks like he's coming back. Oh, and I remember this image a bit. I'm looking at the bridge and stuff. Huh. Though it looks like there's going to be a whole story to it. Like, judging from the image up top that I see right there with the woman with the gun, I guess some prisoner took a little girl hostage, and she tried to save him, but then something happened, and it'll lead into, like, the present-day trial. So let's get a little preview of it first, and then we will call it a pot. And again, didn't go on too long, only an hour and 10 minutes. Might go a bit longer because of his intro, but still. The girl, I let her go. Or, wait, was it the guy? I can't tell. The girl, I let her go, he said. The girl, let her go.
Shut up! Come closer and I'll kill her!
Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Damn. So that was the policewoman. She was saying, let her go. Oh shit, Phoenix. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Whoa, super high tech. Terry Follis. Charged kidnapping, murder. Death penalty. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember this really. I remember that bridge though. After escaping, Follis met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before me and I ever met. Huh. And her name was Hawthorne. 6 years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. Still interesting, really. So, was that her sister? So apparently they're saying this prisoner killed Dahlia Hawthorne's sister. Huh. I don't remember any of this at all. I remember the case with the bridge, where like we have to like figure something out. Like it'll come later, but I'll talk about it when it comes. But anyway, February 16th, 9:24. Discord. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Oh, hello. Eek! Oh, I'll say, do we have any evidence with us? Just the autopsy report. Stabbed with a knife in the back, died from blood loss before 4 and 5 p.m. Ah, good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia.
I didn't do it. I swear. I didn't kill nobody.
Terry Follis, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now, a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax. Try to relax him. So, why did you escape anyway? Eek! I'm sorry.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lied. I didn't escape from no one.
But, Mr. Fowles, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago.
Oh, sorry. I told a little lie. Oh.
Look at those eyes!
Oh, come on. I'm not guilty. I'm just a little puppy dog.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody.
Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Eek! I'm really sorry.
They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty.
Oh shit. Was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Oh yeah, because in the beginning, we met with her, and Mia even goes like, we meet again. So shit. So that, cause yeah, this is her first case, and then her second case was Phoenix. So, in this one though, she says she lost, right? So we're gonna lose this case.
I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that.
2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman?
Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped.
So that much is true. You did meet with the victim.
But I didn't kill him. I was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true.
I can trust you, right? I mean, I should. Who is it? Oh, okay. Now I gotta think of a voice for the pre-him. Okay. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where is Mr. Grossberg? Huh, that old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armado. I didn't say that. So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine an escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of this, though. Get out of here, though. Get out of it, though. Relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Oh. Are we gonna face Edgeworth? This is Edgeworth's first trial? I think that's who it is. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kid. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, childlike voice? I think I more gave him Stallone voice than child. I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth.
What are you doing? Go on.
Okay. Row. Yep, there he is. Oh, it's a different judge. I thought it was the regular judge from a distance, but hey, we get this guy back. Cool. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Flaws. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Yay, get to do his voice again. Oh, it's been a while, Edgeworth. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers, eh? Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone's talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. 20, Your Honor. I guess that little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Young people run the trial, eh? I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was for her death? You got it, kitten.
Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement, eh?
Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old.
A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted.
Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony.
A witness's testimony?
The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal.
I'm trying to think now. Isn't there a thing about the girl? I'm gonna keep it to myself, but once it's revealed, I hope I'm right, because I have a theory about who the little girl might be.
She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She says she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful currents. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered.
So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away.
That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be...
Exactly, the victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne.
Aha! I see. A man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, eh? With only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now, eh?
Huh?
Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty.
Objection! Well, wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor.
Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice, eh?
Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders.
Fuck you.
Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Hypocrite.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness, eh?
I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case.
Oh, God. What is he gonna look like?
Hey, he's not looking too bad.
Pretty much the same, except different jacket.
Witness, state your name and occupation.
Gumshoe! Get Gumshoe! I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir!
I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago!
I don't believe anyone asked you about that.
Hey, ma'am! You got any idea how much work it takes?
Well, what is it?
You're really gorgeous.
Excuse me?
No, seriously, my heart is aching for you.
Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt. So quick that something other than your heart will ache.
Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident, eh? Yes, sir, right away! The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself, eh? Yes, sir, I got you. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusty Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir.
I see. Okay. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge?
The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir.
Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge.
Mr. Edgeworth, I warned you that I absolutely despise conjecture, eh? If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there.
Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hosiery. Detective, proceed with your testimony.
Yes, sir.
Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me, and get ready. Summary of the incident. Now we can finally stop. Alright. So let's save. Alright, that was a pretty long thing. Again, still made some good time. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed. This has been CB Ultra 768, and we'll be back with Mia's first trial and find out what happened about it next time. So, stay tuned for that.